Hey, Ag Teacher Thoughts here, coming at you with another video. Today we're going to do something that I have been waiting to do for a very long time. It's finally time for us to plant our carnivorous plant bog. That's right, our plants that we're planting eats those bugs that come and try to eat them. So I've finally gathered enough carnivorous plants that I feel it'll do a bog justice. So it's not going to be just one plant or two plants. I've actually got 6, and I think that's just about the right number for this bog planting that we're going to do. And some of them that I've collected have a few more plants in the pot that we might be able to tease apart and turn into their own separate clones. So we're going to try to do that, and we're going to plant this up. Now, let me show you some of the materials that we have, and I'll kind of explain what's there and why. And we'll both learn together, because this honestly is my first carnivorous plant bog that I've ever put together. So if I make some mistakes, forgive me. It's my first day. So anyway, come on in and let's get to doing this bog. All right, first and foremost with our bog, we're going to have to do a couple containers. This larger container that I have here is a large planter with no holes in the bottom. So it's going to hold water no matter what. This is an older container, so most of what was going to leach out from it being new, that's already gone through. And now we're just stuck with an old container. I did want to try to find a dish large enough to fill this entire volume. As far as the upper volume of this, I was not able to locate one that was big enough to do that. So that'll be a next year's project, to try to find something or to custom build something that will fill a bog planter that large. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to just use this as our water reservoir. So these are going to be put in the greenhouse. We're going to put enough water on the bottom to come up to the whole level of our bog container that we do have. And, you know, this is just going to be it's going to be our winter holding bog, which is kind of weird because I wanted it to be the finished thing. But, you know, that's the way it goes. This is our container we're actually going to build the bog in. This is a 14 by 10. By Conkey & Company from Sumner, Washington. So it's a fairly good diameter pot. It should be perfect for what we're doing. I know I can find ones that are more squat and wider, but it's going to take a little bit of searching to get that, and we'll work on that next year to see if we can source one. So right now we're going to use that as our lifting surface so that we have something more comfortable to work with. Now, of course, here's the stars of the show. These are our carnivorous plants. This was our latest find. These were actually hard to find. I found them in a discount clearance store here. It's a grocery store that does like clearance food. So off-brands, things that don't sell, overstock, they sell those. And they happen to have a bunch of pitcher plants. I went searching at a garden center for them. And the cashier there says, "Oh, no, I heard that Grocery Outlet has them." So I hurried up to Grocery Outlet, and sure enough, they had just 2 of these pitcher plants left. So these are going to get this really super bright reddish maroon color when they're actually in full sun next summer. These are kind of beat up. Some of the pitchers have been damaged, but, you know, we get what we get here. It's really kind of hard to find water-loving carnivorous plants in a desert because we only get 12 inches of rain here. Here is a Venus Flytrap I rescued from Home Depot. The reason why the traps are so long is they don't have any supplementary light there for them, so they were stretching for light. It should look about like this, but you can see how stretched out it is. So this is the one I had from last fall. I kept it over and grew it outside this year. This is the new one this year. And then the outlet grocery store also had some small fly traps. I don't know if the species are the same. They look the same, but I'm not an expert. So we're going to go ahead and put these in here. And these appear to have more than one plant in them, so we may be doing some division on here. So those are the 6 stars to the show. Those of you that are wondering what pitcher plant I got, it's Sarracenia hybridized with maroon. Okay, that's what they had there. The Flytraps, it didn't say. It just says Venus Flytrap. It doesn't give me a variety or a species on those. All right, so let's set up. We'll get some soil in here and start building this bog. Oh, one more thing. I did a lot of research, and the research was saying that a peat perlite mix was perfect for this. Doggone it, that's exactly what Sunshine Mix number 4 is. So we're going to use my favorite potting mix in this. All right, so this potting mix is what's going to last us all winter long, so I'm going to try to be easy and gentle. I didn't beat this bale and fluff it up like I did on my others, so I'm just going to fluff it up by hand as I add the mix. And you're going to lose some out the holes, but don't worry, it'll start staying. Don't put any rocks or sand or anything at the bottom. That'll create a perched water table, which is something we don't want. I know we're using a lot more soil than what these plants will ever use. Their roots don't go down, well, they won't go all the way to the bottom of the pot. But that's okay, because this is a project. This is what we bought the soil for. So this is an expected expense. And it would be important to use something that has a fresh peat and perlite mix. You don't want to do mulched bark. Mulched bark is not a good idea for something like this. It's going to have a lot of tannins in it. It's going to have a lot of fungus. It's going to have a lot of bacteria, and we don't need that in our life right now. We want to make sure we've got a nice sterile potting mix that's going to help us out with growing our plants. Okay. So I'm going to overfill this because we know it's going to dip down, and we don't need to have a freeboard for watering from the top because we're not going to water from the top. We're going to water from the bottom. That is a lot of potting mix. Okay, just lightly smoothed over. Put our potting mix back. And we're going to start placing our plants. So we're going to first kind of do a dry run and see how we like the looks of it, and then we'll arrange it differently as we go. I think I'm going to arrange it about like this. I think that looks a little bit more natural to me. Yeah, let's get you up a little higher so you can see. Yeah, I think I like the looks of that. Okay, so we're going to work first on our pitcher plants. So we'll get them in there. There are generally these little fiber socks, and a lot of places do recommend pulling off those fiber socks. I don't know that I'm going to be able to get it all the way out because I actually do see I have roots on the bottom. So I'm going to try to do my best to kind of peel this away, being very gentle, making sure I don't tip these over. I don't want the fluids to come out of the pitchers. You know, not that they've been able to collect enough fluids in there right now. I think that's about the best we can do right now on our pitcher. And I'm not going to turn it over so you can see, but I've got a lot of that sock material off of there. Yeah, I don't want to strip the roots. Okay, and I'll go ahead and plant this down in here. So planting depth is you want to make sure that that is level with the pre-existing soil surface. So that's there. It is going to settle. It's just a nature of the beast. And if I have to, I can scoop down and raise it and pack some more soil around it. So there's one. Okay, we'll go ahead and do the next one. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to try to get that fiber boot off of that one. I think I'm just going to plant this one as is. Plant that down around there. Put that soil in nice, firm. Okay. So a lot of these have this sphagnum moss. So this is actually what does eventually form peat moss. There's a lot of that around them. It is something that they are used to having around. Oh, goodness. Look at that. No wonder this one struggled. They are actually physically just planted in sphagnum. Oh, goodness. That is not good. That's their plant material. We're not going to do that. We'll move that out of the way. Oh, oh. Look at that. Oh, no. Please don't die. Look, there's a baby. Okay, put him off to the side. Oh, goodness. This one is nothing more than a divided rootstock wrapped in sphagnum moss. There's no peat moss around it. That is physically what it's grown in. Oh, goodness. Well, we're going to remove a bunch of that. No wonder these guys were struggling. Okay. Well, tell you what. Yeah, there's the bulb right there. That's all you really get. Oh, goodness. Most of the roots are dead. I've got a couple of new roots. Yeah, good thing we're going to use lots of water on this. Yeah, that's it. That is your base of your fly trap when all that other stuff is gone. Okay, well, we're going to put this one in. We're going to heel him in just as deep as he needs to be, just like that. And then we've got this baby. I think I'm going to put this baby right on the edge. So this just baby fly trap. Okay. All right. Let's do this other big one. This one we've taken apart already. This is our other one that we did earlier this year. There are two plants here, but I think they're still together. So I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to divide that. Put that one in. And then let's see how these little fly traps were done. Yep, just as I figured. Little fabric sock. So we can take that. We're gonna remove that, and then we're gonna kind of break this root mass or the peat moss off the roots, and we'll see what we've got as far as the number of traps we have in here, because they may be separate. These might have been done by division rather than seed. Yeah, I'm seeing multiple plants. I'm going to just kind of, you pull and release to get plants to come off of one another, just like that. Let's see if there's another one here. Pull and release. Just kind of tease those apart. Yep. So those are all teased apart. As I suspected, there's a lot. Ooh, this one, there's actually two more in there. Yeah. This is going to be kind of fun. There's a lot of little traps here. Bury those down. That's one plant there. We're going to put this one, I'm going to put this one in here. Yeah, I can tell this is going to be tougher to get the water to be right on these. So we're going to take this one out. Cradling it. Yep, got that little socky sleeve around there again. Roots are starting to grow through it. We'll see. I know there's multiple plants in this one too, so we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna break off this covering material, or this peat moss, off the outside. We're gonna look in here and see how many plants we actually have. Feels like 3 again. Now I've got my fingers on 1. So pull and release, there's 1. There's 2. There's 3. 4 and 5. There were 5 in there. That was a good choice. That's what happens when you take a nurseryman and you have them select plants in a grocery store. I don't look at the leaves. I look at the base, because the base tells me so much more. I'm going to put this one over here. You know, I can tell the size of the plant by looking at the base. I don't look at the leaves. You know, what does the crown of that plant look like? You know, tell me more that way. No, don't want to bury those traps. I know I'm going to be triggering traps, but that's, if you're going to manipulate them and handle them, that's going to happen. Hopefully these are tough little buggers. This is going to be fun. I think I chose wisely when I chose those containers, and to pick up a couple more traps. Yeah, this is going to cover this whole surface. It's going to be awesome. And this last little trap here, put him right in there. All right, so let's count how many we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 12 traps and two of the pitcher plants. And I didn't want to divide those yet. We'll try to do those by seed. So what we got to do now is we got to water this thing in. So let's figure that out. Let's get this down. I tried my best to collect water for this, because everybody's like, you need to go low minerals, you need to collect rainwater and all of that. And I tried. I really did. We are in the desert and we don't get a lot of rain. So all I could collect was rainwater that came from a rainstorm last night. And I only got about 2 gallons off of the entire gutter. Like the entire side of my house. Oh no, not even 2 gallons. It's only a gallon. So I'm gonna water that in. I'm gonna collect that rainwater. No, that's not even working. It's burying the traps. This one over here completely got buried. Need a mist nozzle. This is going to be tough. I may have to. All right. We'll add that water to the bottom. And we will try to fill it from below, and we'll adjust from there. So there is our bog. That was a lot more work. That was a lot more work, but I got a lot more plants than what I was expecting, so I'm pretty happy about that. So anyway, next year, if you do find those Venus flytraps, or you are lucky enough to find pitcher plants in a store, definitely pick some up. We're going to try to overwinter this bog, and yeah, we're doing a bog in the middle of a desert. So we'll see how that continues to go. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed my build of a carnivorous plant bog in a desert. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you subscribed. Thank you to everybody that has subscribed to the channel. There's big news that I'm going to release shortly about that. But anyway, thank you for your patronage. Thank you for your support. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed. Ag Teacher Thoughts out.